Well, jubilation and an overwhelming sense of relief outside the Minneapolis courthouse as former officer Derek Chauvin is found guilty on all counts in the murder of George Floyd. The ACLU is calling the guilty verdict a step forward in the fight for police accountability.
And we want to get some analysis now, some legal analysis on this verdict. Here, Bradford Gray is the former chief public defender in Philadelphia, now practicing law in the private sector in Montgomery County with Montgomery, McCracken, Walker, and Rhodes. And Keir, thank you so much for your time here this morning. In your role as chief public defender, you really advocated for ending racial disparity in the criminal justice system. And the evidence in this case really overwhelming, but not everybody was convinced that Derek Chauvin would be found guilty. So just curious, what was your immediate reaction to the guilty verdict?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. And my immediate reaction was finally the symbolic pressure of systemic racism within the police department is becoming to be dismantled. However, this is a situation that is really not analogous to many situations that we see. So I do hope that we don't just take this moment and think that this is going to apply to many situations, that we put in the work that needs to be done to really get police departments to change the way they handle and deal with people in our communities.
Well, do you see this as a turning point in prosecuting police and holding them accountable?
I think it should be a turning point in terms of holding them accountable. But remember, this situation was so out of the norm in terms of what we see usually in use of force situations. We usually see use of force situations where there's a snap and rash decision about what to do within a matter of seconds. This here, we had a situation where a person literally had minutes, 10 to be almost exact, to make different decisions, and he didn't do that. And so the community and people felt like something was different here. But I still hope that the situation of how police treat communities of color, how they come in and really police them, was on display. And I know that a lot of validation that the communities of color have been talking about was had in this trial, where it was nationally shown that people are treated this way over something so minor as a counterfeit $20 bill.
Yeah, and we saw that video played over and over again during that trial, clearly, making an impact on that jury there. Chauvin's bail, it was immediately revoked during that verdict, and he'll be sentenced in 8 weeks. So the maximum penalty that he's facing is 40 years, but with the sentencing guidelines, he could be actually getting far less time. So tell us about the factors that the judge will be considering when deciding on that penalty.
So the judge was able to hear the entire trial and the defense arguments, which really put doubt as to what Chauvin intended to do and whether or not he was just an officer who clearly mishandled this situation. However, the jury wasn't buying it. But the judge has to look at more of the legal premise of why he was found guilty. He's also going to look at Chauvin's background. Now, this is going to be something that Chauvin's going to have a hard time with as well, because from what we understand, Chauvin has had many run-ins with people where he has been complained of many times, and the Minneapolis Police Department failed to act. So this could be a situation where Chauvin's past could truly haunt him in sentencing. However, we know that sentencing is up to the judge and judge alone, and it's going to really depend on what the judge feels that Chauvin needs to deter him and others from committing such acts.
Do you anticipate an appeal by Chauvin, and if so, on what grounds? In your opinion, how likely would it be to succeed?
So I anticipate appeals, obviously. I mean, this is a situation where someone is looking at 40 years. They have nothing to do but appeal. I know his defense counsel really tried to throw out a reason for an appeal with respect to Maxine Waters' comments to the community. However, I think it should fail because what the jury is instructed to do is not look at any news or media around the subject matter. So if they were following the law, which they should have been, then it wouldn't have affected their decision at all. There's going to be a lot of different things, rulings that the judge may have made with evidence that to be admitted or not to be admitted, that they can look at to say, hey, if this evidence was admitted or if this evidence wasn't admitted, it could have had a different outcome. And so they're going to really examine everything that happened, the judge's rulings, the prosecution's evidence that was admitted, the information that came from the stand. There's so many different things that one could appeal on, but whether the I'm sorry.
And I was going to say, Keir, before we go, real quickly, if you could just tell us 3 other officers involved. They're expected to be tried this summer. What do you think? How do you see those cases playing out?
Well, one, I'd be shocked if they elect to go to a jury trial right now after this, because it seems like there's a clear message. We're not going to stand for this. So it looks like that this is a good guide for how they're going to be judged, and whether or not they need to start looking at entering to plea deals or plea arrangements with the prosecutor on what their fate is.
All right, Keir Bradford Gray, thank you so much for your insight this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Turning now to